Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Challenge podcast. This is a Game Week 6 preview and it's episode 7. Welcome back, Alex. How are you?
Oh, hi, host. Good to be back. That's all I'm saying. It's good to be back.
You're not going to tell me how you are?
No, I'm fine, yeah.
That's good. Alright, in today's episode, we're going to be looking at a Game Week 5 review. We are not going to be looking at any stats because they're pretty boring and there's not much time left before the deadline tomorrow. We'll talk about some transfers instead, though. And then we're going to be looking at our Game Week 6 predictions as well as transfers and captaincy.
Let's go.
Let's do this. First of all, let's just look at our ranks.
Yes, I'm quite proud.
Yeah, we've I think we've both gone up by about 1.4, 1.5 million in rank this game week.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate about the captaincy choice, but it
Po-
is what it is.
Positive vibes only. Look at
Yes.
us. Who would have thought? All right, tell us about your game week, Alex. You got 81. Give us a rundown.
Yeah, so Sanchez in goals. Hoping for a clean sheet. But 1 point, I'll take it. Trent, 2 points. Cancelo with a goal, I think. Well taken goal, 12 points. Perisic, yeah, conceded. So got the 1 point. Salah captain, 20 points. Aronson 5 assist. Rashford also with an assist with 6 points. Martinelli with a goal, 10. Haaland 17. Hat trick hero, 2 games running. Jesus and Tony. Um, Not a bad week, I suppose. Just as I said, the captaincy choice could have proven better rank wise.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like it's a very nice result overall. Obviously, anytime you get 80 points and go up in rank, you can't complain.
No, not at all.
And I guess you have the same frustrations as me, I guess. And you went Tony on the wild card, and the guy's not doing well compared to Mitrovic.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll give him maybe 3 or 4 more games because I've got reasonable fixtures, and then we'll see. Because I'm sure Mitrovic's fixtures will swing after the break.
I think they get better from game week 8,
Yeah,
so could keep an eye on him until then.
I mean, do have 2 free transfers, so I'll keep an eye on him. Yeah.
And you were one of the few people on your wildcard who didn't have James, so you didn't have to worry about the panic selling that everyone went through on Tuesday when they heard that he wasn't going to be fit.
No, no, I was happy with my transfer dealings.
That also meant that you missed out on getting Andreas's points off the bench.
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me.
But it's good to have those players, right?
Yeah,
They're in good form.
yeah. I mean, something to consider when using the bench or the other bench boost.
For sure.
Yeah, let's take a look at your team. How does it look?
It's 83 points. I did not make a transfer as well. And yeah, do you know what the most impressive thing is about my team this game week? And it's the thing that I'm most happy about. What do you think it is?
Hmm.
And I know we have very similar teams, so it kind of makes it a bit obvious.
Was that Pereira
There,
inclusion?
there is one player in my team who has gotten double the returns. He has improved that much over the last 2 game weeks. Danny Ward has gotten me 2 points. 2 points in 1 game week. He has averaged
Yeah,
1 point for 4 game weeks. What a man. I'm
we talk
happy.
about consistency. Yeah,
I'm
solid performance.
arguably going to keep him now.
Yeah, there's no point. I mean, he's a regular, so you keep getting those 2 points every week.
If he keeps it up, then hopefully I'll get another 2 next week.
Yeah,
Anyway, looking at the rest of my team, got the Cancelo goal. Thank goodness. A lot of people trying to sell him. So
yeah.
Trent and Robbo upsetting me once again. Salah captaincy got the 2 assists luckily in the end. Aronson assist. Martinelli. I got Andreas points off the bench because I kept James and I had him as my first sub. That was the plan all along. So thank
Yeah.
goodness for that. Tony, Haaland, Jesus. Not much to say there.
Yeah. Speaking about Salah, I mean, he has disappointed a lot of players because everyone's captaining him. Do you think for his price, it's worth keeping him? Or because I think his role has changed. Because up until now, he's scored 2 goals and what, 3 assists, and usually he'll have like 5 or 6 goals. Um, Maybe he's more of a role-playing player than a goal-scoring one. It's hard to say.
It's a tough one because there is clearly a difference in the way they're playing. They're playing a lot wider. The wingers are staying wide, or he's specifically staying wider, but that could be to facilitate the likes of Diaz, who's getting all the shots coming inside, and to make Firmino slash Nunez be the main goal scorer. So
Understood. Yeah.
I think so, but at the same time, I don't. Basically, am I going to sell him? Probably not, no.
No.
But
All right,
I would be tempted if someone could make a case, give me a better option, maybe.
Anthony. Let's go. United on Sunday. Hat trick hero.
Casemiro.
Okay, let's move on swiftly.
Alright, we're not going to speak about all the results in the game week. There were a lot of games, so we didn't watch them all, but we will. Let's point out the highlights.
I mean, we could talk about your game. Were you expecting a loss to Southampton?
I just said let's point out the highlights. um, no, fair enough. That is the game I watched on Tuesday, and I saw us take the lead early on, and I thought, you know what? This is a good start. I think I was washing the
Yeah.
dishes at the time, and then within minutes we'd conceded the equalizer, and then
Yeah,
basically from then onwards I knew it was gonna not end well.
for sure.
As a James
Mm.
owner, I don't mind owning him, which is because he's like the main one of the main creators and best defensive options for us and anyone in the game. So I'm not going to sell him. Um,
And as one who had did you didn't have Sterling for no, it was Mount, eh?
I had Mount. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do I regret not buying Sterling? I guess maybe a bit in hindsight, because
yeah.
again over the weeks then I would have had Sterling and Trippier instead of Robertson and Mount. So points
Fair
wise, I
enough.
would have
Yeah,
been better, but
yeah,
I really dislike watching Sterling play, and it really sucks as a Chelsea fan.
yeah. I don't know. I don't like the way Chelsea's midfield is. They're not like settled at all. Like, what are they? What are their roles? They're
it,
just passing the ball.
yeah, it's a bit all over the place with
Yeah.
Kante being injured. Liverpool and Chelsea have in very similar slumps at the moment,
Mm.
midfield wise. Anyway,
Yeah.
at least we've made some good signings. We'll mention them now: Aubameyang
Yeah.
and Alonso leaving, and no, not Akanji, that's City.
Yes.
Zakaria coming
Zakaria. Yeah.
to fill in Kante's spot in midfield, probably.
Shame. Poor Kante.
Yeah. Looking at the other games on Tuesday night, Palace getting the draw. I don't remember who scored there. Eze, I think.
Um.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
Nothing of note for me there
No,
at
Zaha, I
least.
think.
Was it him again?
Yeah,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
The Fulham game once again, like Mitrovic.
Yeah, that Fulham team, it's frustrating with regards to Mitrovic. I don't know.
It
They
is.
are attacking. Marco Silva's got them attacking, and Mitrovic, as the main guy getting the distribution, he's getting the points. So much to consider going forward.
Especially in their home games. So
Yeah,
when we look at the fixtures, I think I would actually consider selling Tony this week. If I haven't seen the fixtures yet, so I can't remember if Fulham play home in the next two games.
they are playing
But I'll show you
away to Spurs and Chelsea. So ideally, you want Mitrovic in.
after that, probably,
Oh,
or against
during
Chelsea, maybe.
yeah, I mean Spurs don't look comfortable
Yeah,
either on
that's
defense.
true.
So
Definitely worth considering. But if you're selling Tony for him, Tony's playing probably someone better. We'll see.
yeah, we'll see.
Tony, again, we mentioned him, but let's move on to Brighton. Brighton getting not a bad result, I guess, because we expected Fulham to do well there.
Yeah,
Their new signing, who was considering getting him a little bit. I still might this week. Purvis Estupinan, I think is how you say his name,
That is correct, yes.
or Purvis getting the assist on his debut, and as
The
a wing,
pelvic pelvis, yeah.
and
Sorry.
as the wing back for Brighton, it's maybe a good option to have. 4.5, I think.
Not bad.
He looks like a potential Lamptey kind of player. So
I mean, I see Chelsea as well got Fafana and he's 4.4. Do you think he'll start
I
if
think
you're
he,
going with the defense?
I think he will be starting soon because we need centre backs playing. And the question is when is he going to start? Because I'm pretty sure he was a bit injured, but I'm not sure if he was playing that up to get the transfer. So I would wait on Aubameyang and Fafana for the next
Yeah.
couple of game weeks until we know where they stand fitness wise.
Mm. Shall we talk about Leicester selling all their prem players and wondering why they're at the bottom of the log?
We we can, but we can also talk about Rogers speaking post match yesterday, saying that he is disappointed that he hasn't gotten any transfer market support.
Interesting. Yeah.
And on top of that, the last person to do that was Scott Parker last
Okay.
week, and we know where that ended up.
Yeah.
Much too soon.
I mean, it's right for him to say because he's getting deals done but not coming into the club.
I think Leicester signed someone like at the last second last night, a centre back, a Dutch one, I think. Can't remember his name, but
Yeah, I heard that. Wasn't he at the game? Was he with
I
the
think
long?
yeah, like
Yeah.
frizzy hair.
Mm,
So it's obviously to replace Fafana most likely, but again, they haven't been there haven't been any more additions to
no.
mention. Swiftly moving on, let's have a look. Aronson got an assist for us. We should mention Rodrigo got injured.
Yes, we should.
Yeah,
2 3 weeks out.
yeah.
He's right. Yeah.
I think he's not having surgery, so that makes it considerably less. But again, it's a weird injury, so it could be 3, 4, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
If you owned him, what would you do?
Let's check the fixtures first, and then I'll get back to you. If
Okay,
that's okay. Host.
fine.
Great.
We're not going to mention Everton because Everton suck.
Yeah.
No offense to no
Okay.
offense to them. Moving on to
Apologies. Yes.
yeah, moving on to Wednesday. Arsenal once again grinding out a win.
Yeah.
It's
Grounding out. Martinelli, I see, scored again, and Jesus. Sorry.
the FPL darlings of the season so far.
Yeah. The Gabriels are performing.
They are, and Douglas Luiz scoring straight from the corner as well. What a guy!
Yeah. Yeah. As a keeper myself, I have to say, Ramsdale. Yeah, I have nothing to say for that matter. If you get beaten at your post from a corner, yeah, it's
They,
hard to not criticize you. But maybe it was unsighted or would
they,
have argy bargy in the box.
there were question marks about that, whether he was being
Yeah,
fouled or not. So it's one of those things. I know we mentioned it last week when we spoke about this the sack race. Who's going to get sacked first? Rogers, Parker, or Lampard, or even Gerrard.
yeah,
We both lost, and it was Parker. But who do you think goes next? Because these teams, the ones that we just mentioned, Everton, Villa,
yeah,
and Leicester, are doing terribly.
they are. And I think perhaps maybe Rogers after his comments and his performances, and Lampard, yeah, Lampard and Rogers, I think.
I think Gerrard is very close as well.
Yeah,
I think it would be Rogers, Gerrard, Lampard if I were to choose the top three in that order.
yeah,
Okay,
that is. Yeah, let's move on.
let's move on to Man City. Man City, we
I mean, do
both,
we really have to?
I,
I mean,
yeah, I think we do.
the result speaks for itself.
It does. We went into this game week with the idea or with the notion that there was a good chance that Haaland would either start and come off early or he would be benched and play about half an hour, right?
Yeah, at least get a half starting off the bench. Yes.
And the worst case scenario was him starting because we knew hell would occur.
Yeah,
And
and indeed it did.
yeah, you sent me the team, or you told me that Haaland was starting, and I just sat there. I was like, oh, this is going to be so bad.
Yeah, here we go. 3, 4 goals. Oh, it's a given.
And yeah, to be fair, congratulations to him and to owners,
Yeah.
and especially captainers as well. Uh, deserve points.
I mean, if you're in Haaland's position and Pep obviously with rotation, in the form that Haaland is in, don't you think you'll tell Pep, play me tomorrow? I want to break more records during my first season.
I'm sure he would say that, but at the same time, I think Pep rules the roost there.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I do feel sympathetic towards those who had De Bruyne,
Oof.
and
Yeah.
especially those who sold Haaland to get De Bruyne on the basis that they thought that he was more stable for minutes.
Yeah, it's sort of a yeah, vice versa transfer, I guess.
Big swings in
Yeah.
rank, and not much else to say there. We mentioned Cancelo. Are you at all tempted to sell him?
Not at all, no. I mean, I've got enough backup on the bench,
Are you,
I think.
would you not?
Yeah.
Would you not be tempted to sell Cancelo, downgrade to a 4.5 or to a 5, and then upgrade Tony to Nunez? Perhaps. Does that tempt you?
I haven't even considered Nunes, to be honest.
He's 8.9
Hmm. Yeah. Um.
against Everton this weekend.
Yeah, we'll talk about that once we see the fixtures, please.
And okay, we'll keep going. Spurs. Was it Kane again?
It was not. I think it was an own goal by
Oh yes, yes,
Keller
yes.
or Kera, whatever his name was.
Yeah, it was almost a
The
tap in
new
for
son.
Son.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shame those son owners must be seething.
it was a Kane assist though,
Yeah.
so he's in very good form still, reliable.
I mean, if you were a son owner, would you keep him or would you sell him?
I would have sold him before the last game week. I
Correct.
probably would have sold him 2 game weeks ago, to be fair. And yeah, let's look at. Oh, we're on the topic. Perisic, keep, bench,
Hmm.
sell.
Um, I'm not sure. I mean, with Champions League as well, there's also risk for minutes, but eh. Between Cancelo and Perisic, I've got Nico and Feldman on the bench, and I'm sure they'll continue to play. So if things go downwards, then if they don't play this weekend, then I've got backup.
Fair enough.
But may be tempted for Cancelo to Trippier if he plays, but we'll see.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Up in the air.
Yes.
Liverpool and Newcastle. Liverpool grinding out the win right at the end there. Wow.
Yeah, it went a bit excessive over time. On 5 minutes, it went to 98.
It did, but
Yeah,
Newcastle were wasting a lot
they were.
of
Yeah,
a lot of time as well.
it was their own downfall.
Yeah,
Speaking of Newcastle's goals, Isaac getting on the score sheet, his first game.
very impressive young man.
Yeah,
I can't remember how much he is in FPL. Seven, 7.5.
7, yeah, so he could be a potential swap for Tony, I guess.
I mean, he could. It's a differential pick, and they have. We'll look at the fixtures now. They have very good form
Yeah,
coming up. He is. Yeah, he's 7 million. Wow, what a
so I
guy.
think it's just zero point 0.1 less than Tony. So
Is there anything we need to mention about Man United Leicester that we haven't already? Leicester suck. Man United
yeah,
doing what you
on the
need to.
rise. Did suck, but now getting better.
Yeah, it's
Um,
a hard fought win.
yeah, that's the thing. We're grinding out results.
It's the sign of a good team.
Yeah, and with Anthony coming in, it's only going to improve us. I hope
Do
for
you?
the better.
Who does he start over?
Maybe Elanga.
Oh,
I mean, Elanga.
hmm.
I mean, he's also been playing well. But I'll keep Sancho and Rashford. That partnership seems to be good for us. Bruno number 10, and then maybe Anthony on the wing. Rashford up front again, and poor Ronaldo bench fodder again. I don't know what to say about that man.
He's just there to keep up the numbers, I guess.
Yeah.
Impact sub.
Hmm.
All right, having a look at the fixtures. Game weeks 6 to 10. I've included game weeks 9 and 10 here because most people will be wildcarding after game week 8, which is the international break, and there's a decent swing in fixtures. You'll see Palace, Brighton, United, and Arsenal have tougher games from game week 9 onwards. So the players that we're holding, the likes of Jesus, Martinelli, Perisic, even, we might consider selling them to jump on those who have better ones, like the ones on top. What do you think?
Yeah, there's a lot to consider, definitely. Um, I don't know if I would sell Martinelli and Jesus in the form that they're in, regardless of fixtures. I think they will get the points. But mind you, Newcastle are looking good. So maybe Trippier and Isaac, if they fit, could be potential transfers in.
I think selling people like Jesus, it's an option at that
Mm,
stage, especially if that extra, if you're going to be dropping down to, let's say, an Isaac or Mitrovic, anyone in that price range, right? Then it gives you extra money to upgrade elsewhere. So if you can justify doing that by improving somewhere else, then I'm like, okay, fair.
yeah, I mean, speaking of Mitrovic, as you said, game weeks 8 to 10 look really good for him. So,
Forest, Newcastle, West Ham.
yeah, and Brentford have Arsenal, Bournemouth, and Newcastle. So I think it's much of a muchness, I guess. Just that Arsenal fixture.
I
Yeah,
think Brentford will not struggle, but I don't think it's as easy a game as you'd expect against Arsenal at home.
yeah, no,
Bour-
not at all.
Bournemouth, okay, maybe. Newcastle, tough game to me. So
Yeah,
looking at Fulham, honestly, looking at, you mentioned Tottenham and Chelsea earlier. Things could happen in that game because look, this game week Fulham play Tottenham. That's after they play in the Champions League in midweek.
yes,
So you'd expect them to rotate, right?
yeah,
So there's a chance for Tottenham, for Fulham,
Fulham. Mm.
and Chelsea at home for Fulham. I wouldn't put it past them to take points of us too, because our defense doesn't like to be bullied, and Mitrovic is
Likes
that.
to bully defense, yes. Yeah, definitely much to consider.
So I would, again, if someone bought him this week, because he's probably going to rise in game week 8. So if you buy him now, you're going to benefit from probably point 0.4 in team meta.
Yeah, and the thing is, Tony, if his performances keep slipping, it's only going to drop.
Tony dropped
So,
last night already.
well, there you go.
So it's if he blanks against Leeds at home, it's probably another drop incoming.
But yeah, I don't know what to do. So.
Let's move on to a different team.
Yeah, how about Forest? I mean, with their 18, 19 inclusions.
All
Um,
sorts of signings,
yeah.
great fixtures.
Who'd you
Bournemouth,
say? Serge Aurier? Was it Wilfred Boney as well?
they've signed Willy Bolly from Wolves. They've signed Serge Aurier. I think they got Batshuayi from Chelsea on a free. I think, haven't confirmed that if it was done in time.
Okay.
But I mean, even those three signings plus the other 17 that they made,
Yeah,
that's not even an exaggeration. They've literally
yeah,
made that many.
it's crazy.
I
And
think,
they're decent deals as well.
yeah, I think they, going forward these next few weeks, they might start experimenting with those players. So
I would hope so, yeah.
it's tough to know who to pinpoint at this stage. But I think if you are a Neco Williams owner, I mentioned it to you the other day, but I'm considering playing him these next 3 game weeks,
Is that going to be Bournemouth, Leeds, Fulham decent?
and that means that I might have to bench someone else, like maybe Cancelo. I know that how crazy that sounds. Not necessarily
Yes.
Cancelo, but
No.
other players.
We got Trent as well. We got Trent. Would you consider benching or selling him for the Everton game
No, but okay,
and
it
Chelsea?
depends on my transfers, right? So
Yeah,
in my head, I have 2 free transfers, and I have Robertson still. So if I decide to sell Robertson and I get a 4 million defender, let's say Emerson from West Ham,
yeah,
and I turn him into my 4 million defender for these next 3 weeks before the wild card. and I play Nico Williams for 3 weeks. That gives me nearly 3 million
Mm,
extra to upgrade to a Nunez or to anyone else,
right.
Foden.
Yeah, that Robertson does open up for elsewhere.
And the same thing applies to people who have Perisic or okay, I know James is fit as far as I know, but Perisic, if you're not sure about whether he's going to play these next 2 game weeks, Fulham, if he doesn't start against Fulham, what's the point of having him? Because then they next play Man City away.
Yeah. It's probably like the Haaland situation. Probably get the minutes, we think. But I mean, you got to continue with the league progress, I suppose. Continue that form, get the points. So I would play him.
Look at the Man City games. They have Villa, Tottenham, Wolves, United, Southampton.
Yeah.
I'm not okay. In hindsight, I'm probably not going to sell Cancelo until maybe the wild card. We'll see. But I
Either
am,
Haaland for that matter. Like,
yeah, I'm going to keep him
yeah,
regardless.
yeah.
And I'm tempted by a second City attacker, and it would probably be
Uh,
Foden because it's easier for me to get
hmm,
there.
yeah. Not a Alvarez.
Don't tempt me. I've been mentioning him for the last few weeks, and then this
Yeah,
man banged in this game week. I'm very happy to see it. 6.2 million. What? There's
yeah.
another consideration.
I mean, I could just do it right now for Tony because I've got two free transfers, and Villa don't look at all convincing.
The risk
So
is there
maybe,
though. Like he might not play.
yeah. I mean, come on.
Is it a risk worth taking? Personally, I wouldn't mind taking that risk for me because I still have the wild card in play. So that's why I'm considering these things. Like I'm considering Nunez, even though I'm
Yeah,
not sure whether he's going to play. But Liverpool play Everton and Wolves, and then I'm wild carding.
yeah.
So and I if they don't start or they don't play, then I have Andreas or Nico Williams to come on.
Mm. I mean, I don't know. Nunes, he has much to offer, definitely. But whether he's starting as Everton, I don't know. Probably not
Question.
match fit.
Let's have a look at Leeds. You asked me to bring it up when we got here. So Rodrigo, if
Yes.
you owned Rodrigo, what would you do?
Okay, so let's just say hypothetically he's out for 2 to 3 weeks. So that means, yeah,
Game week 9. They said after
yeah,
the
Brent.
break.
Yeah. So he's missing United game, so that's all right. So Villa and Palace. And then, yeah, I suppose I'd keep him. But I mean, if you want other players like a Gross or Harris or Aronson for that matter, maybe for a million less. But for me, I'd probably yeah, sell him.
I probably would sell him too. Uh,
Yeah,
we. I was wondering when you mentioned Gross there.
yeah,
I don't know why I stuttered, but when you mentioned Gross there, I had a look for where's Brighton because Brighton have been top of these fixture tickers for ages, and now I see they're like mid-table. But I mean, look, they're playing Leicester, Bournemouth, Palace. I
and
think those are
Palace.
very good games.
They are indeed.
Okay, Liverpool and Tottenham next. That's probably why. But
Yeah,
even until the wild card, there's still good options. The safe option for me right now is to do Robertson to Trippier and I can't. Oh, Billy Gilmore, who's just joined Brighton, to Gross,
yeah. I mean,
and I
I've been
could.
speaking about Gross for weeks, and now with the fixtures, I don't know.
They're not scoring much though. That's the thing.
No,
And with these two transfers, if I were to do them, Trippier and Gross, most people have them, so I'm not gaining anything from it. And the point of this is what I'm battling with in my mind is: do
yeah,
I get two players on a free who a lot of people have, so I'm not gaining much,
yeah,
or or that's before the wild card, or do I take a punt on a Foden and that Neco Williams starting thing earlier or a Nunez, and then I can wild card out of it and potentially see massive jumps or massive falls.
it is tricky because you do want to stay in touch with the leaders, with the same players, with that said, you do want two or three differentials.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't consider Trippier differential, but maybe Foden or Mahrez. Yeah, but Foden probably will start more games, I suppose.
Yeah, I think Foden, to me, has always been more of one of Pep's favourites. Mahrez,
Yeah,
I've always had bad luck with that guy. He burns me every
yeah.
single time I own him.
Burn it down.
Looking at
Um,
looking at
that's why I'm thinking Alvarez as that differential at 6.2. I am almost tempted to click the transfer button right now.
I mean, have a look. He has the updated minutes table for Man City. So we've seen Holland get rested basically in a lot of the last few games. So I don't think he's going to start against Villa. Alvarez played 90 minutes against Forest.
Yeah,
He could start, and they've shown that they can play together as well.
yeah,
De Bruyne didn't play. I think he starts this weekend. I think Mahrez and Foden is a tough one.
yeah. That Bernardo Silva also has been getting minutes and he's
But
consistent as well.
he has, and Gundogan as well. That's the issue with him. Is he plays 90 or he plays like 20.
Yes.
I wouldn't be buying him. And they've just signed a Kanji now too. So in defense, there's a little bit more to worry about centre back wise.
Yeah, and Laporte coming back.
Hmm. I think Alvarez is a bigger risk, but I think he does. I still think Holland gets benched this weekend. Alvarez starts. Foden starts on the right, I think. And I think, I'm not sure how fit Grealish is, but Grealish probably starting on the left if he's fit.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what he says in his team news.
That's the main thing at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah. The gap between the fixtures at the moment, red being 2 days, green being five or more, yellow being three. Any chance of Salah being rested this weekend against Everton in the derby?
uh, I don't think so.
Diaz? No?
Possibly, but you need to keep the win streak going. So I wouldn't risk. You got to keep in touch with City in the league.
That's true, but he's shown in the past that he doesn't mind rotating in the derby, especially if it means maximising Champions League.
That is correct. However, Derby, Everton, got to put the players on the field, get the result first. If
Yeah,
you're up 2 or 3-0 half time, then yeah,
I guess so. I mean, have a look at Tottenham, yeah. So we were mentioning Perisic earlier. So Perisic has 3 days between the Fulham game and their Champions League game, and then only 2 days until the Man City game.
yeah, it's not much.
Surely he either doesn't play in the Champions League game or he doesn't start against Fulham, plays the Champions League game, and then plays City.
That's the thing. Will you completely like avoid it and not play at all, or just get minutes in either game, Champions League and Fulham?
I think he gets minutes in Champions League, either starts or he gets minutes, and then he starts against City. I don't think he gets minutes at all, unless necessary, against Fulham.
Yeah,
Watch me be wrong, but that's my hypothesis.
yeah. I mean, it's fair enough. Yeah, makes sense.
And Arsenal, they're playing in Europe, so I assume they're just going to rotate the other players in their squad with the main players, so I think they're a safe hold.
Yeah.
What do you do if you own Zinchenko? He's been injured for the last 2 or 3 game weeks. Would you sell him?
Yes.
He's at a nice price point, right? You can buy Trippier, you can buy
Mm,
other players.
exactly. Do I need to
Uh,
elaborate why I'm going to sell him, or just yeah?
nah, just your opinion.
Okay.
Looking at United.
I'm going to go Saliba or Gabriel
Hmm.
for a defender.
United, are you interested in someone like Dalot, and Ante? I don't know why I said it like that.
I mean, I have been keeping clean sheets, so it is a consideration. Dallo or Malatio, I think I like him a lot getting forward.
I do. I think they're pretty nailed as well,
Yeah,
which is good. Anyway, let's move on.
yeah,
We've spoken enough about teams. There are no stats to talk about, so we can just head straight into our predictions.
yes.
Anything else you want to mention about the fixture ticker? Newcastle? You tempted by their players
Yeah,
besides Trippier?
just that Isaac as well. It all comes down to whether I want to sell Tony now or 2 or 3 weeks time.
Strike while the fire is hot. Iron is hot, my bad. The fire is hot. Both work. Whatever. Okay, let's do these predictions quickly. Where do we stand with Everton at home to Liverpool?
No way. 1-0 Liverpool.
That's not very nice. Okay, 2 2-0 Liverpool.
I mean, I did sign Mope or Mape, but I don't know if he's gonna benefit them. I mean, Gordon he's okay.
I'm so glad we didn't sign him.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, Liverpool to win.
Liverpool to win 2-0. Yep.
Oof, Brentford Leeds. Oh goodness, why are you doing this to me?
1-1 draw.
2-1 Brentford. For Tony's sake and for my fantasy sake.
Tony and
Tony
Aronson.
Brace, yes.
Chelsea West Ham. Oh
Oh,
no. To did I guess 1-0. Yeah. Chelsea West Ham 1-0 Chelsea.
I want to say draw.
So do I. I'm being a bit biased. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Draw Chelsea win. A
We,
scrapey win.
that's what I feel it's gonna be. Scrapey win.
Mm.
Newcastle Palace. I think
Oof.
Newcastle win this 2-1, but it could easily be like a 2-all draw as well.
Yeah. I got either way, but yeah, Newcastle at home. Excuse me. Newcastle to win.
Okay. Forest Bournemouth. Bournemouth for
Oh,
me are gonna lose, but it'll be respectable. So
yeah.
1-0
I'll,
Forest.
I'll, I'll say 2 or 3 now. Maybe Dennis to get a start.
Damn. Spurs Fulham. Ooh, London Derby. I'm gonna go for a Spurs Fulham draw.
Oh,
One
I'm
all.
very tempted to say Fulham. Oh, I don't have the guts to do it. I also want to say draw. Oh, I don't see goals, to be honest.
Wow. Okay.
1-0 or 2-1 to Spurs.
Okay. Wolves and Southampton. I'm not gonna watch this game at all.
Not at all.
Not gonna
I'll say
lie.
Southampton. I wouldn't say upset, but maybe Southampton to win.
I'll go with a Wolves win, 2-1.
Oh.
Aston Villa Man City at Aston Villa. I forgot the name of their ground. What's the name of their ground again? Do you remember?
um,
Villa Park.
I almost said Pride Park. Yeah, sorry, that's
Yeah,
dog. Yeah,
Villa Park.
Villa Park. Yeah, 3-1, 2-1 City. I don't know. I'm giving Villa a goal.
Same here. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
why? 3-0
yeah,
City.
2-3 nil. Yes.
Sunday games. Brighton Leicester. I think this is a Brighton victory. I don't think they score many goals, so we're
No.
going with a 2-0 win.
Yeah, same.
And then the game least watched this weekend.
Wow.
Man United, Arsenal. I want to hear your opinion first.
Hmm. United on the rise. Arsenal consistent. At Old Trafford. Might get a start from Casemiro and Anthony, hopefully. So I'll go. Sorry, I saw the shake of the head, so no. Maybe 2-1 United.
Oof.
I have to give my team the edge. I'm sorry.
I mean, you've won 3 games in a row, but you still got trounced in the first two. You,
I don't care.
Arsenal have won 5 consecutive games in both good form, and they're showing scrappy wins too.
Hush. I'm still backing my team.
Fair enough, we're allowed to have some biases. I had mine earlier.
Yes.
I am gonna go for a draw,
Score draw?
a score draw,
Great.
1-1.
Understood.
It's
I mean, it could get either way,
it really
honestly.
is a
But
tough
yeah,
game, so it makes sense to give each team a point.
Mm,
However, I think if it was to lean either way, I would lean towards Arsenal.
of course, yes. What has happened?
I clicked on the wrong thing. We will edit that out. Okay, let's move on to our game week plans. Alex, you mentioned that you have a lot in mind, so speak us through your potential plans
Okay, so currently I'm gonna stick with the same team heading into game week 6. If I were gonna do transfers, because I've got two free, maybe. I mean, I just put in Rashford and Irons, so it'll make no sense to take them out. Um, do not eyebrow me, boy. Maybe Cancelo or Perisic with Champions League in mind. So Trippier, or if I wanted to go for Fana, but yeah, they'll be silly. Um, I don't know, to be honest. Maybe Trippier is the main inclusion I'll put in.
for Perisic.
Yeah, the same price. Maybe Cancelo. No, Perisic.
Okay,
And then that Tony dilemma if I want Mitrovic or Alvarez. I'm 65% certain on Alvarez to start,
it's a
and
big,
I'm very tempted.
big differential to have both. Imagine that.
Yeah,
Why do you want to keep Rashford
he's, he's just been performing and he's playing up front, so he'll get the chances.
against a good Arsenal defense?
Yeah, exactly. He likes Arsenal.
Okay,
Don't criticize me.
I'm not.
Just I have Rashford as a differential,
I
and
mean,
I'll keep him.
that's the yeah. I understand. Okay, mm,
I mean, ideally, I could go Gross or Harrison because they seem to be scoring.
you could. Are you tempted to play Veltman as well?
I am. That's why he's my first sub in case those people in my defense don't play.
Because I think a double Brighton defense this week is a differential in and of itself.
It is, yeah, and they're playing Leicester, so I would consider that. And Nico, I'll tempted for Nico as well.
If it were me, I would probably sell Rashford for one of the other punty teams, probably Gross, I think, against Leicester. But at the same time, I think I would, we'll get to my plans, but I think I would keep Tony. And
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. I think the only other option would be to sell Perisic based on minutes alone.
yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily have to sell Rashford. I can just bench him for Falkman or Andreas, for that matter, and then just put in Nico for Perisic.
You could, but I don't remember who they play. Arsenal, Palace, Leeds. Okay, fair enough. If you want to keep him, yeah, you could bench him. That's a decent plan too. And then he comes off the bench for Perisic if he doesn't play.
Yeah,
I think
I mean, yeah. Sorry, I want to
expected
keep
points. Yeah,
Rashford. Yeah, I want to keep him. Maybe his price rises and work towards getting Anthony, barring minutes and how he plays. Keep an eye on him.
I think it might be a good idea to try and hold on to the other free transfer if possible,
Yeah,
because having two, because people are going to wild card again in game week 8 and 9. So
yeah,
at least you can use those two or three transfers to combat their wild card basically.
exactly. Yeah. So
And
ideally, I'll have, yeah, three transfers. Yeah, take the four hit.
are you settled on Salah captain?
Yeah, because Haaland, I'm still hesitant.
How long does it take before we just captain him? He scored a hat trick with playing what 30 minutes last weekend. Then he scored a hat trick playing 38 minutes this past week, and we're worried about
uh,
captaining him.
I don't want to talk too much about Haaland right now. I think just keep Salah.
Okay, it sounds a bit sad the way you say that.
No, it was depressing choice. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's look at my team. My team: Ward in goal, Cancelo, double Liverpool defense, James. Aronson, Martinelli, Salah captain, Tony, Jesus, and Haaland. Uh, Neco Williams first sub. What would you do if this was your team? Two free transfers.
I mean, I see James. Would you consider selling James?
No, he's
Okay.
fit. He's fit. And Chelsea's run of is great, so there's no way I'm selling him.
Robertson?
I would consider him, but who would you get? And what would you do with the money?
Getting Trippier, sell Tony, and put in Alvarez
Well,
or Mitrovic.
I don't need to sell Robertson to do that.
No, you don't.
And does that improve my team with against Everton?
I mean, not really. This is the transfers available. Um, to be fair, I'll probably keep it for one more week or two before your wild card.
Second dilemma, or the main dilemma here, is my goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, right. So Iverson may be worth.
which goalkeeper would you rather get? Sanchez, Henderson, Raya, Edison, Mendy.
I mean, if you've got money to burn, then yeah, I'll get Ramsdale. Sorry, not Ramsdale. Mendy, Edison, Sanchez.
The main thing again for me is, as I mentioned earlier, I'm wildcarding game week 8, so I don't really want to
Mm.
get template keep
Yeah,
the template keeper now, which is Sanchez.
yeah.
And therefore, I think if I were to do the goalkeeper switch, it would be Robertson and Ward to Henderson and Purvis at
Uh
Brighton,
huh. Interesting.
because
Okay.
that gives me the Brighton defense and maybe an attacker as well. And then
So you wouldn't.
I can take the -4 then as well if I want to.
So you take out Ward. So you wouldn't take out Iverson. Just keep Ward.
I think I would take out Ward because Iverson's 3.9, and
I see.
I can save
Yeah.
that point 2 or point 1. But I think at the moment it's either going to be one of those two. The dilemma is that I think I'm probably just going to roll with Ward until the wild card,
Yeah. I mean, you may as well.
and then we will decide there. But I think I will probably do Robertson out, maybe Trippier or Purvis in, and then upgrade Gilmore to someone.
Yeah, I agree. Mainly Robinson. Yeah, I'd consider probably only Robinson.
Or if I hear that Darwin is starting on Friday, or today, I guess later today, then it'll be Robertson to the same player I mentioned, Trippier or Purvis,
Yeah.
Tony out for Darwin, and take a chance.
Yeah, it's the thing with Tony. I've lost my patience with him.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah.
Fickle FPL
Yeah.
managers.
I mean, it was the same with him last season as well. Good start and then just drifted off.
Yeah, he lures you in and then he just, yeah,
Mm.
frustrating. I'm probably going to captain Salah. Could bite me in the behind again, but we'll see.
Take a gamble. Tony captain.
Darwin captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, if you want to follow us on social media, you can. Please do. You can follow us on Twitter, Fan Challenged, on Twitter and Instagram. On YouTube, you can catch us at Fantasy Challenged, one word. And on the podcasting side of things, you can find us anywhere. Just search Fantasy Challenge and you'll find us. Uh, Anything else you want to mention, Greek?
Not at all.
I just called you Greek on stream for the first time.
You did indeed.
Sorry.
I'm, I'm, I'm humbled by that. Thank you.
Any other mentions?
Not at all. If you want to chat to me, you can find me on Alexia _Buffs if you have the time. I'll respond to
On
you.
Twitter and Instagram, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. All right. Good luck to you. Good luck to everyone for the game week. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Um, regular times on a Tuesday, I hope.
Yes, until there's more midweek games. But for now,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah. See you guys. Good luck
Goodbye.
to you all.